Hey everyone, it's Barfield here. Welcome to Writer's Corner. Okay, as some of you may or may not know, I travel full-time with my family around the United States. During my travels, I've picked up a few particular items, lots of magnets, but occasionally a few friends. This is Totoro the 16th of the Hayao Miyazaki dynasty. This is Captain Darth Pebbles, my girlfriend helped me name him, and this is Sam. Now yes, I've acquired a few companions during my travels, but companions extend just beyond these little guys. They also are in fiction. Companions are in many great books, ranging from Harry Potter to Robinson Crusoe to Pathways Resurgence. There are a lot of different cool companions out there, and in this video I want to explain what exactly companions are and how to effectively use them in your writing. Now at this point in the video, you're probably wondering, what exactly are companions? Well, since I don't want you to be confused, I'll explain. Companions are animals. Companions are small robotic thingies. Companions are magical creatures or constructs, and they're also so much more. Mostly, companions are things with primitive intelligence and are there to support your main characters. They're there to be kind of like a security blanket, a constant comforting presence, and they're there to be there whenever you need them the most. Companions are not, however, sentient, talking, intelligent, main characters, or integral to the storyline. They may be important to your character's development, but they are not necessary for the storyline to continue to flow. Now you might be thinking to yourself, alright, companions seem pretty cool, a bit anime I guess, maybe high fantasy, though pretty cool nonetheless. But how do I introduce them to my story? Well, sometimes companions can just kind of pop up or slide in. But the best way to introduce your companion is to have them come in whenever they are needed the most. Oftentimes, this is during a point of high stress or big change in one of your characters' lives. For instance, take Hedwig and Harry Potter. Hedwig came into the story whenever Harry was undergoing a lot of stress and a big change in his life, becoming a source of comfort for him at the beginning of the book and all the way through the series, as well as representing the good news that he had gotten from owls and before, that he was in fact a wizard. This seemed like a natural fit for him and continued to be so during the rest of the book. Alternatively, you can have your companion be there from the very beginning. Perhaps when one of your characters sets out to a war-torn country to provide medical aid, they go out with the doll given to them by their dead spouse. This happens at the very beginning of the story. A great example of this is in the novel Pathways Resurgence by Neil Akasaka. In this, his main character Norin has to set out on a journey across the landscape, and it's pretty bitter and desolate and cold. But Norin's constant companion is the horse Seth, who he has had since basically as long as he can remember, and has helped at the local forge where he used to work constantly. This reminds him of childhood, of home, and is a constant source of companionship and fond memories on his long, bitter journey. Now there are two important things to keep in mind whenever you're introducing companions. First, not everyone has a companion. Having all these constants in scenes, having all of these companions at once, can get a little overwhelming. The second thing, keep in mind the lighter or more supportive aspects of the companion when introducing them. Whenever first introduced, these things should be either cute or very supportive, or represent something good or warm in this character's life. After you've introduced your companions, now you have to use them effectively throughout your book or series. This can be easy to do, though it may seem tricky at first. For instance, if I want to cheer up a cat lover, I will probably show them Captain Darth Pebbles instead of Sam. Sorry, Sam. Probably the most important thing you can do to use your companion effectively is to keep them as a constant. Use small reminders consistently to show that the companion is still there, but doesn't always need to be specifically mentioned in every scene. They're oftentimes going to be the biggest amount of comfort and support for your characters, beyond keeping them constantly around or making sure that your readers know that even if they're not mentioned, they're still there. You also want to make sure that your companions develop a personality of their own. Take Totoro, for instance. Totoro the 16th is a very agreeable sort of person. He is constantly nodding, and he likes to make people happy with his adorable little wobbles. Your companion should naturally develop their own personality over the course of the story, just like animals do. Take a look at your animals or your friends' animals. How do they act compared to other ones? This can be a great basis for how your companions' personalities will develop. And keep in mind that your companions, to an extent, will react to the things that are said or done to them. However, your companions are probably not going to be the most useful in combat. Take Totoro, for instance. He is adorable. Yes, he is here to lighten the mood and comfort you. He is not here to fight. I mean, Captain Darth Pebbles on the other hand. But even if your character is traveling with a giant earth golem that has been in their family for generations, you probably shouldn't let that giant earth golem consistently be in combat, simply because it seems like less of a companion and more like a living weapon. And living weapon just has a different connotation to it. Additionally, whenever your companion's constantly fighting, it gives them a chance to express their personality not only during combat, but afterwards, and this is not ideal. Yes, you want your companions to have personality, but you do not want them to have too much personality.
Come on, Noah, this doesn't make sense.
Just let me explain. Companions need to have personality to make them enjoyable and to make them seem interesting. However, giving them too much personality turns them into a main character, or at least a supportive character, in the story. Now let's say your story is going great. You've introduced your companion, you're using them effectively, they're constant in your story, they're not in combat all the time, you know exactly what purpose they're serving. You've come to the point in the story where probably it's time to kill off the companion. Not you, Sam, be different. Noah! How could you suggest such a terrible thing? Why would we want to kill off these amazing, adorable companions? There are actually several reasons why, and I will list them all. Now before I get into this, I just have to say, there are two ways that you don't have to kill off your companions. First, maybe your companion just wasn't that important. If killing off the companion won't have a great impact on the readers or the characters in the story, then you don't really need to. And the second way is that if you have a really good reason for not killing off this important companion, then give it, and you might not have to. Overall, if it's best for your story, no matter how much it pains you, you gotta let him go. But if your companions do need to die, let me help you with that process. Commonly, companions die closer to the end of a book or a series, after the readers and the characters have grown most attached to them. You want, as the writers, to make sure that everyone is really attached to these characters before we stab them in the heart and twist it while we're killing these companions. This is a great rule to follow whenever you have characters in general, but companions are probably going to hurt even more, simply because they probably didn't do anything to deserve death. Now that being said, it is important to make sure that the companion's death is not unnecessarily cruel. You should have PETA knocking on your front door telling you you have serious problems and you need to be looked at. However, there should still be a loss. Your readers and your characters should feel like something is missing. And the following scenes of the book, at least for a little while, you should feel like there's an absence, there's hollow, cut out. The presence or lack thereof of your companion should be felt. Now concerning the actual death of your companion, you should probably make it sudden and unexpected, most of the time self-sacrificing. Say your character is beset on all sides by bandits. Initially your character has the upper hand, but quickly they realize they are losing this fight. After they are knocked to their ground, the sword flown out of their hand, and they're about to be beheaded. The otherwise normal, peaceful companion, Goat Wolf, leaps in front of the sword blow that would kill them, spearing itself in the process, but knocking the sword out of the hand, giving your main character time to slay their foe and clear the clearing of all of their enemies. But now, their friend that has been with them since childbirth, who has looked over them, was there to lean on whenever they were walking, is gone. How do you deal with that? Now this is all I have to say on companions, and I'm going to stop before it gets too depressing. Totoro agrees. But now I move on to my novel, Legendland. Legendland, this fantastic piece of literature right here, this beautiful masterpiece, is available on a plethora of places. You can find it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, iTunes, Smashwords, my publisher's website, or my website, www.arc-storm.com. If you order off of there, I'll personally sign it for you. Keeping up to date with me and all of my amazing works isn't enough? Of course it's not. You also want to stalk me online, so you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Goodreads, Wattpad, and obviously YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you want to talk to me, either comment below or contact me on ArcStorm. Now recently I've been working on a few special projects that only these three are aware of, and I hope to share that with everyone else very soon. But until then, I hope that you liked this video, that you go check out my other ones, and that you continue to enjoy.